Over the past couple of days, it has been a little bit of a bumpy ride in the crypto market. Right now, we're sitting about 114,000 per Bitcoin. We got Ethereum right around 4,300 and Solana right around $184. Personally, I say this a lot, but I'm not that concerned. I do believe that we need a little bit of a correction before we fire up to those new all-time highs. If you were telling me months ago that we were going to be sitting at $114,000 Bitcoin, we would have mostly all been very happy. Fear and greed sitting right around a 45. But there's some big news coming up this week we want to address. We do have the central bank gathering happening in Jackson Hole this week, where Powell will be delivering some comments. Most people are expecting a debt decision that's going to reflect rate cuts in the month of September. A lot of people are waiting to hear what Powell's going to have to say, obviously. If we get some rate cuts in September, I would imagine that a lot of markets are going to respond in a very positive manner. If he's more hawkish, we could be chopping for a little bit longer. And when we talk about Wyoming, we have to talk about some big news out there that Wyoming is issuing their first stablecoin, the first U.S. state going to be delivering a stablecoin. They're going to be putting this on Solana, Ethereum, and Avalanche. What everyone likes to call DATs, digital asset treasuries, have gotten some very interesting equity or venture funding as they raise $15 billion. But we have seen some of these DATs, like MicroStrategy, for instance, their stock has been going down since they've been purchasing some most recent Bitcoin purchases. I'm not sure if this DAT trade is over or not. I know a lot of these companies, for instance, MicroStrategy, SharpLink Gaming, BitMiner with Tom Lee, have been trading multiples over their expected really value of what the assets they hold. Now that has somewhat come back down to life. MicroStrategy was trading about 3x times its value, not so much anymore. SharpLink Gaming was anywhere between 3 to 10x, and now it's right around a 1.01, and then BitMiner is a little bit higher at 1.35. I don't think this overall DAT trade or digital asset trade is over for these public stocks, but I think that initial hype is now running out of steam slightly. I do believe that they're going to continue buy, put a lot of buy pressure on the cryptocurrency market. It's great to see. These companies are not going to fold. It's funded by major equity or VC money. This isn't going straight to zero. I even see a path where some of these like SharpLinks or BitMiners actually acquire some of these other DAT companies in the future. And then we have a whole other world where they could start employing DeFi protocols and mapping out their overall plan other than just to buy billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's worked up until this point. It does seem to be running out of somewhat steam, but I do believe in the future we could get a second wave. We love to talk about meme coins out there, and we talk about meme coin launch pads within our private community. Bonk, Pump.fund. Pump.fund definitely is a stranglehold on the market now, but enter a new player, Heaven.xyz. They have some very interesting meme coins they've launched recently. When you flip over and take a look at Tyler's page, Heaven's closing in on 50% of Pump daily revenues. As you can see, very impressive numbers, over $500,000 in the Heaven revenue. This just launched over the weekend, so it definitely has some room to grow, but also has to establish itself. Pump definitely has a lot more trust and established ground compared to a lot of these other launch pads, but we can't deny that the current Heaven launchpad is definitely catching some steam out there. They have a native token out there called Light. Light they utilize 100% of their revenue to buy the Light token. Very interesting tokenomics, but personally, we do need to wait and see how this is going to develop over the next few weeks or next few months. One piece of news that seems to be going under the radar is Robinhood, one of the larger financial institutions out there, is launching NFL and college football prediction markets. Prediction markets caught a ton of steam in the crypto world when we talk about Polymarket, we talked about Kalish, we talked about Myriad, and they're very fun. I personally explore the prediction markets, not just to place wagers, but to actually just see what type of bets are being placed or where the overall audience is placing their money. Robinhood, who is really becoming almost the everything financial app from the traditional stock world to cryptocurrency, now is getting into the prediction market game. I do think prediction markets are going to be a new meta or a new wave of interest, especially when we're getting into this upcoming football season. And lastly, we do have to talk a little bit about NFT news. We have CyberKongz, one of these OG ETH NFT projects. They really made a name for themselves for a token called Banana, almost considered one of the first NFT meme coin collaborations. People made a ton of money. Now they're introducing Kong. Now they have introduced some other meme coins in the past on the Bitcoin protocol, on Runes. Not sure if this is just to go out here and buy or explore CyberKongz, but this kind of endorses the thesis we've talked about where the world of NFTs and meme coins are going to absolutely start to integrate. And I'll tell you what, one NFT project that seems to be coming back from the dead, I am absolutely rooting for this project. Full disclosure, I am a holder of a Moonbird. They have been absolutely ripping sitting at a 3.7 Ethereum floor. We're well over $15,000. Spencer and Orange Cap Games are doing some big things out there. And there's a lot of speculation when we talk about tokens that there could be the Burb token. There's been some Easter eggs have dropped along crypto Twitter and some other platforms that are pointing to a possible token drop that's caused a lot of speculation in this NFT project. Personally, I love the Pudgy Penguins meme coin. I love the Pudgy Penguins team, but there is a lot more room to grow for some other NFT projects and meme coins to kind of copy that same playbook. Looks like CyberKongz is trying to revive and do something with the Kongs coin. Moonbirds seems like they're kind of leading the pack because these were under an ETH just a couple months ago. Now with the acquisition by Spencer and the Orange Cap Games correlation, they're absolutely starting to run. This is a project that you definitely want to keep your eyes on. It's had some very positive inflows. Excited, happy for all those Moonbird holders out there. Let's see how it shakes out over the next few weeks to months. But if you like this sort of info, if you want to learn more about meme coins, NFTs, we're talking about digital asset treasuries, we're talking about the macro news, we're talking about really everything crypto related. Check out our link down below. We have these market updates weekly, we have podcasts, we have rundown shows. We're doing everything within our private community where we talk even more in depth. Check it out. We'd love to see you there.